Well, Coach Day, you are back on the Buckeye Cruise for cancer, and cancer's touched so many of our lives. Why is it important for you to be here?
Well, first off, no other school could pull off something like this. Where you have something that's been going on for 2 decades, where people come together to raise money for cancer and to make a difference. And it's just to see some of the people that are on the boat that have been on the boat for so many years, and then you see the impact that it's having. And when you think about being a Buckeye, a part of that is giving back, and that's what this is all about.
You think about Buckeye Nation and the way they support this football team and this university and everything. I mean, think about it, $44 million in 19 years. This is the 19th year, and we're hoping for another record this year.
Yeah, that's it. And it's great because like our guys are on here right now, our players. We've been doing that now for 4 years, and it's teaching the younger generation about philanthropy and what that means about giving back. And like you said, Ohio State football goes together with the university, goes together with the community, and so that's all a part of it. And it's great to see some of the younger guys get involved with this.
All right, it's always football season here. I don't have to tell you that. You've had a busy off season. Let's talk about the offense, and you've made some hires. You have a coordinator and Arthur Smith. I've been reading about him, and looks like he hit another home run.
Yeah, he's a great guy, a great experience, and we hit it off right away. And I just think he's going to bring so much to the table for our team, and I think Buckeye Nation's really going to like what he brings to the table.
How do you envision all this working with the offense? I know you guys have had some initial meetings and everything.
We're just getting started with that. Our first spring practice is March 10th, and we'll get going with the plan. But Arthur's been around great players. He's been around great teams. Obviously when he was in Tennessee, what he did there, and then went on to be the head coach with the Atlanta Falcons, and then most recently with the Steelers. But before that, he was very much involved in the NFL, but also had a great history of following college football. So he's excited to get into the college game. He's been fun to be around, and so now you have two coordinators. You have two former head coaches in the NFL. So there's a lot of experience there, and we know that's something that these guys are going to bring different perspectives to the table. And when you have credibility like that, it certainly makes a difference when these guys start with their first practice.
I don't have to tell you, and I talked to your offensive linemen. It's so cool. So many of them are here on this cruise, talking to the Carson Hinsmans and the Luke Montgomerys and Austin Servold. They love this guy, and he likes a nasty O-line. We talked about it. And he likes running the football too.
Well, he's going to bring a mentality for sure, and like he said, we've got to figure out a way to get the ball to Jeremiah 10 times a game, but it's going to start and stop with the offensive line. And I know that's where his heart is. That's certainly where he played, and he's already met with those guys and talked about the mentality and the identity that we're going to have on offense.
The other thing, it was a different, and it seems like every day things change and whatever. You got older in the portal.
Yeah, that was important. I think when you just look across the board, the number one thing for us is to recruit Ohio. I think 55 guys on our team from Ohio. That's a big deal. We just signed more guys in this class, 12 guys, than we have in over 10 years from the state of Ohio. So that's important. And so we want to recruit guys, we want to develop guys, we want to retain guys. But we also need to be veteran when it comes to the end. So that playoff run, having some experience, having veteran guys is critical. So I think we addressed some of those needs, but this spring we got to jump right into this thing. We know that we have to build an identity, and with 51 new guys, so a lot of work to do.
Jeremiah is on the Buckeye Cruise, and Julian Sayin's on the Buckeye Cruise, yeah. And he got his hair cut. He looks different, but you can see that he is really pumped to get back out there.
I think when I said this before, not too many guys his age have been to New York City. And so, a lot of those guys, when you're a Heisman Trophy finalist or had the year that he had, at his age, usually, it's kind of, you learn things. I think he learned some things at the end of the year. So now you're going to have a more veteran guy who's played some football before, not going into these first few games, where it's just his first game. You think about his first start was at Texas, and you think about everything he did last year was for the first time. That's not going to be the case anymore. And you've seen our schedule, you've seen our road schedule and what we have next year, but it's certainly going to help having somebody that's been through it before and have some experience.
Last thing, winter conditioning is underway. Coach Mick, you've got Schlegel back.
Right.
And with the number of new guys coming in, how important is this winter conditioning, and how's it going?
It's the backbone of the program. It's our foundation and how we start the whole the whole thing. And so typically we start to draft our leadership committee. We decided with so many new guys that we're going to wait till after for a few weeks to kind of get our feet underneath this before we do that. But this is everything. This is where you get your leadership. This is where you get camaraderie. This is where the units come together. And so, we need to make sure that, this is a really good off season, and then it heads right into spring ball.
Well, you know how I like to end it. Your message for Buckeye Nation.
Yeah, great to be on the cruise, raising money for cancer research here at Ohio State. But, and we're working back in Columbus, and we'll be back at it soon. We'll see you at the spring game, April 18th in the shoe, and let's go back.
All right, Julian Sayin, we are on a beautiful ship. We are getting ready to go out on the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer, your first one ever. Just what are you thinking?
Yeah, really excited. Should be a good time, and obviously for a great cause. So really excited to be here, and looking to have some fun.
Obviously cancer touches so many people. Why was it important for you to be here? And hopefully we're going to raise a lot of money.
Yeah, just a really great cause, and just doing whatever I can to support it.
You got a bunch of your offensive linemen here with you. Those guys protect you on the field. They're going to protect you here in the Caribbean, I guess,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, got Carson, Luke, Austin out here. It's nice to have those guys with me.
What has winter conditioning been like? Coach Mick, we know what he's like. You got a bunch of new guys on the team this year coming out of the portal. This is when everything kind of comes together. What it's been like?
It's been great. I think just getting to bond with those new guys and just build team camaraderie has been a lot of fun, and just building chemistry with each other. It's been great.
Obviously, you got a bunch of guys coming in, and you're getting to know them. What do you think of the guys so far?
I think we have a good group. I'm excited about it. A lot of good players, a lot of good people in that locker room.
All right, let's talk about the coaches. You got new guys with the offense, including Arthur Smith, the new coordinator. What do you think of Arthur?
I like him a lot. We've been able to sit down and talk some ball and just meet, and it's been good. I think it's been a good relationship, and really excited about what he brings to Ohio State.
What do you think he's going to bring? What are we going to see? What's he told you? What's his vision?
I think he's just he's a great coordinator, great football coach, and his resume speaks for itself. And I'm excited to get to work with him. And we have a great staff. I think just having Coach Day, Coach Smith, and Coach Fessler all working with the quarterback is going to be great.
Obviously, it did not end the way you guys wanted. Does this football team have a bit of a chip coming into this season?
Yeah, I think so. It's a completely new team, and it's a new season. And I think we're building that edge throughout this offseason.
You had a heck of a rookie year. Personally, I thought you should have won the Heisman. You were that good, but whatever. You got another shot this year. Just what do you feel? How hungry are you coming back and getting a taste of everything you had?
Yeah, I think I'm really excited to be back next season, and I can't wait till August and when the foot hits the ball. And I think just having that experience from last season, it's going to be helpful to my development. And, I'm excited about improving this offseason and getting back to football in August.
What do you think you need to do to take the next step, the next level?
Yeah, I think just improving all areas of my game, and I think I've been doing that this offseason, so I'm excited.
We love watching you throw. With Art Smith, the running maybe going to be a little bit.
Yeah, I think having the ability to kind of do it all as an offense will be very important this season.
Last couple things, Coach Day, he is one intense dude. He loves you guys. Just what's the feeling about him? I mean, this team rallies around him, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's someone who is a great leader of men, and we're fired up to have him as our coach, and we play hard for him. So wouldn't want anybody else to be our head coach.
One last thing, what's it like being you? What do you do for having fun? And everyone knows Julian Sayin.
Yeah, I think when I go home, I go to the beach and hang out and get some good sunshine.
That's in California because we do have we have a beach up at the Alum Creek State Park. Have you been to that?
I have
beach?
not visited that.
You have not been to that beach. Now are you going to get into the ocean here in the?
Yeah, I think I probably will. Yeah, me and the boys.
There's sharks in the ocean.
We're not too worried about it. We got sharks in California also.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you one thing, Julian. You have a 0% chance of being bitten by a shark if you don't get in the ocean.
That's true. But why would you want to live without any little risk and a little adrenaline?
I'm scared of sharks. Anyways, do me a favor, take us out. Your message for Buckeye Nation.
Go Bucks.
Carson Hensman, welcome to the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. First of all, your hair, I love that. What are we calling this look?
What are we calling it? The lost bet to Luke Montgomery, probably, for the most part. But no, honestly, it kind of grew on me, literally, a little bit. So we're slowly getting to the point where we might chop it out, but it's good.
Tell the folks why it's blonde, how this happened.
Yeah, so being an offensive lineman, you're kind of used to not really getting a lot of recognition. So when we do post-game kind of analysis and stuff like that, Coach Jay will call a player of the game. And so after the Washington game, me and Luke played really well, and we were fortunate and blessed enough to be called players of the game. And I'm like, that's insane. That never happens. I'm like, if that happens again, I'll bleach my hair. And then, fortunately, we played well enough against UCLA that we got players of the game again. So had to be true. Had to dye my hair. Luke was supposed to dye his hair, but he chickened out. So.
Well, I like it, and as a guy that's older, and I do dye my hair. Well, I don't dye it. I just have this special shampoo.
Yeah.
This special shampoo that just washes that gray out.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about the Buckeye Cruise. This is your first time here, right?
Second time.
Oh, second time. That's right.
Yep.
You were here last year.
Back to back.
How cool is this?
It's awesome, and I mean, just from last year to this year, just to see how it's grown in 1 year. I mean, I've only been a part of it for a little over 1/19 of its duration. So to see it kind of grow and develop, it's insane how much more there is to continue to do for this cruise and this community and just the people on board. It's really cool.
Why is it important for you to be part of this?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I was trying to tell some people earlier, like there's no other place in the world where you can get this kind of community that comes together and puts their heads and hands together to go and raise $44 million plus for this cruise for the Ohio, the James. And so to come and see that, I think is really inspiring. To talk to people that have been through adversity like that is inspiring. To see how they fight, to see how they go through their perseverance, but also the people that want to give back to those people is also inspiring as well.
All right, let me ask you a question, and just for you folks at home, Luke Montgomery is shooting this.
Yeah.
Who is the smartest guy typically on the football team other than the quarterback?
I would have to go with the center. I'd have to go with the
And
center.
what position do you play?
Center. Well, you see, if Luke's not just asking me to play every 5 minutes.
I have to help him with some of the calls.
No, he doesn't. He's just sitting there. He's like, "Is it a pass?" I'm like, "It's a run." So.
So the
yeah.
center. I was
You
a
think-
center too. I just want
he
want
knows.
everyone
He
to
knows.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to stop recording now. So you said
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. Arthur Smith, the new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
The word is this guy loves the run game and is going to bring a new look to the run game. What are you hearing?
Yeah, loves to run the rock, man. I mean, he brought us in before when he first got here and kind of showed just a highlight tape of how he expects us to play. And I think it's just kind of inspiring to see him come in and kind of make everything more simple. It's simple but not easy to go play football at the next level. I think for him it's a lot about finish and drive and being gritty, and I think that's the kind of stuff that makes great offensive lines elite. And so I think for him to come in, it's going to be huge for us to kind of develop that mentality and develop that drive that he expects us to have. So I think it's going to be a really, really good change.
Does he like a nasty offensive line? And when I say a nasty offensive line, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you see a nasty offensive line, it's a group of dudes who are playing for each other. They're going and just pile driving people on the field. That get
pancakes. We love pancakes.
We love pancakes, eating and delivering. We always say that we want to. The 80% of the play is always the same, but we want to show our personality to the back 20%. And I think you're going to see a lot of personality this year.
How much of an edge does this club have? And congratulations to Indiana. They did it when they had to, but you guys were this close to beating them. And I mean, I know you guys felt like there was unfinished business.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think when you come up short in some games where some things could have been different, that could have 100% changed the outcome, you have to sit with that for a while. And when you have to sit with that for 365 days, you kind of develop that edge, like you were saying. You got to chew on that for a while and get back to the field and the grindstone and get back to work. And I think that all of our guys now, whether they're new or have been here for 5 years like me, I mean, they kind of develop that mentality like, hey, we got to go and show what we're about.
Teams are getting older. We're seeing that.
Yeah.
This team got older this year.
Yeah.
You like that?
I love it. Yeah, I mean, I think with age comes experience, and experience is invaluable. I think what we have now is a lot of guys who played a lot of football that understand the game. The game slowed down for them, and so for us to go and show that and perform on the field is going to be important this year.
All right, we had Luke show the gun show. Let's. Ooh. Oh my goodness! Ooh. Look.
Don, I couldn't tell where the.
You know what? Screw that. Let me see the gun show.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. See, Don, where's the? How do we get up to the top floor? Is it that way?
Come on now.
Or is it that way?
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fun. Do me a favor. That camera, your message, Buckeye Nation.
Buckeye Nation, man, get ready for a wild ride. We're coming for it all this year. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks. All right, Luke Montgomery, welcome to the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. How much fun is this?
So much fun. Just the opportunity to be here is so cool with some of my buddies on the team, and then obviously guys that I've already played here in the past, and then obviously guys like you, man. It's been a lot of fun just to meet people and make those connections.
Well, it's been cool because, you know, the old linemen, you guys are all here.
Yeah.
And it's great that, because let me just say this. I noticed the nastiness about you guys last year.
Yeah.
I loved it. But you know, I'm an old lineman myself, but you guys are a little bit bigger than me. But you guys are fun to watch.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, just got to grow on last year. I mean, we all came back for a reason. You know, we want to win another national championship, and obviously, like, you know, it starts up front. So obviously, like, having a camaraderie with Carson and Austin, especially on that left side and stuff like that. It's good to have all three of us back. It's gonna be a lot of fun next year.
Let me ask you about some of the changes we're seeing with the offense. You have a new offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith, and I've never met an O lineman that doesn't like to block for the run game. You like to see it.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, you know, first impressions are obviously really big, and one of the first days he got here, he pulled the O line in, and he probably had an hour and a half of cut up tape that. We didn't watch all of it, but like we got through a lot of the plays that he was just showing us on like what he ran and stuff like that. And it was just fun to just talk to him, catch up a little bit, and just get to know him a little better. And he's been great. We love him. It's gonna be a lot of fun just playing for him.
I know you're a student of the game, and we're seeing changes. We saw a bunch of guys come in from the transfer portal. We saw a bunch of guys go into the transfer portal. Did this team better itself, you think?
Yeah, I think it did. You know, I think we're a couple years behind just like this new era of football. I think this year we kind of caught up to everyone else where it's like almost a new team almost every year. The last 2 or 3 years, like we've had guys that have been ready to play that the next step and stuff like that. So when we had guys leave this year, you know, we've got probably half of our team is new, you know, and they all fit the culture. And that's the best part of being on Ohio State is Coach Day and them and our staff does a great job of just like bringing the right guys in for our team. So those guys have been working really hard and grinding. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And to your question, yeah, it's gonna be a great year. So I'm excited.
There's age on this team now.
There is age.
I hate to
experience
say,
and age. I know.
But that seems to be the method. You guys
100%.
did it a year before winning a national title with an older team, older guys.
100%.
Does that make a difference?
It makes a difference, especially when you have a fifth-year center who's old as crap. Filming right now.
He's filming us.
Yes, sir.
But it does.
It does, 100%. And obviously with age comes experience, and, you know, bring the guys in that we did, and majority of them have a lot of experience and stuff like that, playing in big games and stuff. So, you know, that's only going to help us out. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
How about winter conditioning? This is when teams come together. This is when you build the camaraderie. It's really important this year with all the guys coming in that are new.
Yeah, 100%. It's huge, and, you know, we got to start from the bottom up. It's, you know, we got to figure out what we're about and what our culture is this year. And obviously that doesn't change, but certain little things may change within it, especially having 60 new guys that don't understand maybe what it is to do the Buckeye way and stuff like that. And, you know, we got to figure that out as we go.
I know this season did not end the way you guys wanted. Is there an edge with this club coming back? 100%.
And you learn a lot from adversity and stuff like that. And, you know, we didn't play our best in the last 2 games, especially up front. So, you know, having that opportunity to come back and make sure we do it right this time is huge.
How hard was it to watch, especially knowing you lost by 3 to Indiana in a Big Ten game you probably should have won?
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's hard to watch, but hats off to them. You know, they had a great year, and we can learn a lot from it. And like we said, like, it's a game of inches, and, you know, that holds true in that game. So.
I know you guys are like big brothers when it comes to your quarterback,
Yeah.
Julian Sayin.
Yep.
And you guys want to protect your quarterback. What do you expect out of him now that he's a year
Yeah.
older?
Just the same as we did last year and more. For having his first year at being a starting quarterback at Ohio State, he did a tremendous job, and he's taking control of the offense. He's a leader now. A lot of the guys are looking up to him, even if they just got here. So, I'm super excited for him. He's super talented, and it's a lot of fun to block for him.
What are you looking forward most here? And Austin Servelt said he's going to get in the ocean and wrestle a shark.
All right.
Well,
Then if he's going to get in the ocean and wrestle a shark, I'm going to wrestle a bigger shark.
You're going to wrestle. So there is a competition.
There's always competition.
He's got big arms, but I'm looking at this. This is a gun show, ladies and gentlemen.
Gun show.
Isn't it? I mean,
Not bigger than me though.
Carson's shooting this. When we'll show.
Yeah, it's all right. He's also 290, so he needs to gain his weight back.
Yeah. What are you at?
315.
And you're
I
how
move people
tall?
better than him. 6'4.5", 6'5".
Yeah.
A little taller than him.
Yeah. Everybody.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Well, do me a favor. Look at that camera. Your message for Buckeye Nation.
Ooh, a message for Buckeye Nation. Get ready for a fun year. Go Bucks. Thanks, Dom.
Great job. All right, Austin Servelt, I got to ask you, first time on the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer, right?
Yep.
What do you think? And why was this important to do it?
Yeah, this is awesome. Having an opportunity to have a great cause for cancer research was very important to me and my family, and I'm happy to be here.
Cancer touches so many people, and we're lucky to have the James. And, my wife's been dealing with it, and so many people. I mean, why was it important for you to be here?
Yeah, I have a couple family members that have cancer, and they were at the James, and this is a great cause, and support them and my family.
Let me ask you this, because the football season never ends here in Columbus or in Ohio. You know how that works. What's the feeling? What has the winter workouts been like with Coach Mick?
It's been tough and nasty. We have a little chip on our shoulders for how it ended last year, and we just got a lot of proof for us this year.
What is the big takeaway from the way it ended? What do you think you guys learned at the end?
We're just gonna be closer as a group. We can't just be selfish guys. We gotta be a strong brotherhood.
Julian, you guys love blocking for that guy. You're blocking for him this week here on the Buckeye Cruise. What do you want people to know about Julian that we might not know?
You get what you see on TV. He's a great guy. I love him. He makes my job a lot easy at tackle, so I'm happy.
All right, you guys have a new offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith. What do you think of him? And word is he really likes to run the football.
Yeah, we got to meet with him. A couple meetings with our first meeting with the O-line. He showed us some film from when he was at the Titans and Falcons, and he's just showing us like what he expects us to be like in the season.
What do you think it is? What does he want to see?
A lot of running the football, tough, nasty physicality is run the football.
Well, I saw that last year. There was a nastiness to this offensive line. Talk about that, because, you want that, because it's in the trenches, and this is not for the faint of heart, is it?
Yeah, we just had the mentality. It started with in camp, and then just the week one against Texas. We really we had to be, if we really want to win that game, we had to have that mentality. And it's going to be the same case this year.
Yeah, you look at the schedule. It's they didn't do you any favors this year, did they?
Nope.
But what do you say? What do you think? You want the challenge.
Yeah,
right?
we want challenge.
What do you guys think as far as the transfer portal and all the guys coming in? Coach Mick's putting you through winter conditioning. What has that been like? And what do you think about the new guys?
Yeah, the new guys, they're awesome. We have a lot of them come in. I think it's around 50 new guys. But it's a good challenge for everyone to step up and lead and find their place.
What are you looking for to the most? We're going to be going to some islands. We're in the Caribbean. What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm just looking to have a great time, connect with some new people, meet some new people, and just do this for a good cause.
How about the ocean? Are you a guy that likes to get in the ocean?
I'll get in the ocean.
You have no fears?
Nope.
If I told you I'm scared of getting in the ocean, what would you say?
Get in the ocean.
Get in the ocean. But there's sharks in the ocean.
Oh, well.
Oh, well?
I'll wrestle one.
Do you think you could take a shark?
I think I could take one.
You do? Did you wrestle?
No, I didn't.
No, I did wrestle. You don't want to wrestle me. I don't know. What do you weigh now?
Like 320.
320. I'm 189. I don't think it would go well for me. What do you think? He would pile drive me, ladies and gentlemen. Well, do me a favor. What do you think the headline should be for this football team as we get ready to really get into spring camp and everything? What do you want the headline to be about this football team?
Just mentality. I think just overall our brotherhood is we're really close. We're everyone's connecting and just growing individually and as a team.
Who's the toughest offensive lineman on the team?
I don't know if I can answer that.
Well,
I might be a little biased if I want to say.
Well, I'm just asking. You're the guy that wants to wrestle a shark. Is it you?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, I would. You're. How tall are you?
6'5".
6'5". I would not want to wrestle you. Okay, and if I was a shark, I'd probably go the other way. Well, do me a favor. Look at that camera. Your message for Buckeye Nation.
Go Bucks.
Hello, everybody. Dom Tiberi, joined by Ohio State tight end Bennett Christian. And first of all, I did not know you played guitar. The other night, you stole the show. You went up with North of Nashville, and you played the guitar, the lead acoustic. How long have you been playing the guitar?
Well, first I want to shout out North to Nashville and Evan. I mean, those are amazing people, amazing band, and I'm now a fan for life. They're awesome. But started playing guitar in high school. My older brother played, and one day I just decided to pick up the guitar and see what I can do. And I fell in love with it. I love playing mostly country music, sometimes gospel music, and it's been a really fun hobby of mine.
All right. How about the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer? How much fun have you been having? And what would you tell Buckeye Nation out there? I've said that this is the trip they need to come on. Has it been everything you thought it would be?
Well, first off, it's for an amazing cause. Mr. Chris and Miss Lisa, they do an amazing job. And it's probably been, 3 days now, and it's probably one of the best trips I've ever been on. I mean, just look at this view out here. It's unheard of, something like I've never experienced before. So, I would tell anybody to go on this trip. I'll definitely be coming back if I'm able to. And, yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, that is the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea behind us, folks. It's absolutely amazing. All right, let's talk football. You guys are missing out right now. The guys that are here, you, Julian, all the offensive linemen are missing out on winter conditioning. What has winter conditioning been like so far with Coach Mick and the new guys that have come in? Plus, you got Anthony Schlegel back with the team.
Yeah, no, it's been as hard as ever. It's the hardest time of year is going through winter workouts in the early mornings with 2-degree weather going into the woody. But it's been great. We have a really new team this year, and I think the guys are picking up really quickly what the standard is to be a Buckeye and how to train like a Buckeye. And yeah, it's been, like you said, it's been great having Coach Schlegel back because he's been through it multiple times, and he really knows what he's doing.
And there's some age on this football team now through the portal. This is an older team, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm a fifth year myself. We got Carson, Kenyatta, and we got some more older guys too. So a lot of guys that know what it's like to play big time football, and it's really good additions.
You look at the schedule. They didn't do you any favors, but you guys are going to play a gauntlet, and let's see. If you want to win a championship, you got to beat the best, right?
Yeah, we'll bring it on. I mean, we love competition. It makes us better. So I'm really excited for this season. Probably more so than I have ever been here. So
obviously, we've got changes with the offense. Arthur Smith, the new coordinator. I know you guys have had a chance to visit, and he's starting to implement some things. What do you know? What can you tell us about this guy?
Can't tell you much as I'm learning new stuff on the fly as well every day. So, but I'll tell you one thing: he's a great guy. He is absolutely brilliant. He's a absolute expert when it comes to running an offense and how you can move a football and the different ways you can do it. So I'm just very excited to be able to work with him, and I think it's going to be a great thing.
Does this football team have a bit of an edge coming into this season? You guys did not like the way it ended.
Well, absolutely. I can speak for myself that I'm very, very angry because I know we should have been playing in Miami. But only thing we can do is go out and make a run at it this year.
Well, Bennett, thank you so much for your time. Once again, folks, that's the Atlantic Ocean behind us. We are cruising on the Silver Ray, the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. Take us out, your message for Buckeye Nation.
OH!
Well, hello everyone from the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. Dom Tiberi joined by the one and only, the great linebacker, the former Dallas Cowboy, the one and only Bobby Carpenter. And Bobby, we are back on the Buckeye Cruise, and this is really for both of us. I think this is a labor of love because, you know, cancer's touched so many people, and we need to get a cure for it.
We do, and this is unbelievable. It's a great event to be a part of. And it's been awesome, especially since Dom, they've started allowing the new guys, the current players to come on the boat. So we've got some of those guys coming on here. The Peyton Pierces, Austin Cervell, Luke Montgomery. Who else is on here? Bennett Christensen.
Yeah, I think it's neat. Julian Sayin.
Yes,
is
Julian. I mean, they're great. The guys are awesome. And then plus we've got some of the younger guys coming back. When you start looking at Hamilton coming back, Tyleek coming back, Cody coming back, some of the guys who have been here now are getting re-engaged and understanding the total breadth of what Buckeye Nation is.
And the neat thing is that for a lot of these guys like Julian, and they're experiencing this for the first time, I think it's neat that they got his offensive lineman here with them because, you know, you talk about relationship, the quarterback and the offensive lineman, that's a special relationship.
Oh, very special bond, Dom. And these guys are doing a great job. And it's awesome. Like when you be here, when you've been at Ohio State as long as these guys have, you put the work in. This is a little bit of the reward, getting a chance to do this and engage with people. The ability to develop those connections is an awesome experience, and especially to have those bonds with your teammate.
All right, Bob, let's talk a little football. Winter conditioning is underway. Talking to the guys, they say it's been intense. You know, it's a different landscape, though. They've got a bunch of guys that came in on the portal, and, you know, we know what Coach Mick is all about, but this is a new landscape because they've got to bring this team together, and this is when the team bonding's made, isn't it?
Absolutely, and it always has been the case, but usually you've got your 2/3 to 3/4 your team set, and you're bringing in 20 to 25 freshmen. Well, now you have that 20 to 25 freshmen plus 20 to 25 portal guys. So it's a little bit different. You've got to try to integrate these guys, assimilate them as quickly as possible, develop that culture. And I equate it to this. It's a little bit like building the plane while you're in the air and trying to fly it. Tougher job now, but Mickey Marotti's been doing this for years. They built an ultra competitive situation, which allows those guys to really find out what they're made of and to develop those team bonds that you love to see.
You know, the game has changed, and it seems like every year there's new changes, but clearly football teams want to get older. Clearly the transfer portal is going to take a bigger role. I talked to President Carter about this, and he echoed those kind of things, and that we're seeing a change. And you're still going to recruit the great players like the Jeremiah Smiths, those type guys, but just not as many. You know, the 3-star to 4 stars. I don't know, Bob.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I think you're going to have different levels and tiers, and some of the guys, depending on what they're looking at financially, it's more of a professional model a little bit. And guys that want to come in and develop, well, there's going to be opportunity for that, but they're going to be on a little different trajectory. And then if those guys don't develop, well, those spots will then be backfilled ultimately with the portal. And we watched that happen a little bit this offseason. This was the first year that Ohio State kind of adapted that new model, and I think you're going to see more and more of that. But they still want to obviously recruit the high-level guys and then the Ohio guys as well. And listen, we're going to give you 2 years to develop, and hopefully you're going to be the guy that we want you to be, and then you'll be able to come out and play. But the idea of now recruiting all these great players and just stockpiling them, well, that's almost a thing of the past.
You know, if you've not seen the interview I did with President Carter, it is very interesting. He answered everything. And one of the questions, I asked him if he was worried or concerned about the future of this game because, you know, I just don't think it's sustainable. And he said, I'm not here to make headlines. It's not sustainable, and we've got to get some things figured out in the next 2 to 3 years or we could be really in trouble.
I think where they're at right now, everybody kind of sees that and understands that you can't continue down this same path. It's a model that it's not good for the young men. It's really tough for the diversity to keep up. And so, yes, mobility is good. Being able to transfer and have those opportunities is good. The guys being able to get compensated, well, that's a positive. But having those things together without any constraints and on a yearly basis, that's the thing that is really the chagrin of many of the administrators. And really, when you look at college football, it's not what it was designed to be. So hopefully they'll be able to put some guidelines and guardrails around this thing, try to figure it out. But like I said, with the team, you're trying to build the plane while it's in the air. they've gone down this road, and so reeling some things back is going to be tough.
You know, I mean, it's like we have said, the genie's out of the bottle. But with that said, do you think there needs to be a salary cap? With that said, the unrestricted free agency of college football is that's not sustainable.
In terms of salary cap, I don't like that. I mean, because we start talking about NIL, and I don't know if that would ever be enforceable by the courts anyway. Even if Congress passes a law, I mean, there's still things that can be challenged in the court, and laws all the time are deemed unconstitutional. But there does need to be some limits of when you can transfer, how you can transfer, and can you have one-time transfer? Is it after how many years? Could you have two? How does that ultimately look? What is the enforceability of some of these contracts, just to make sure that, you know, at the end of the day, you're someone in the United States of America who's 18 years old, and when you sign your name on a piece of paper, that means something, especially when there's compensation and opportunity tied to that. So they've got to figure out that whole model and how that's going to look. Maybe that's with Congress getting involved. Maybe that's with just the group of colleges and universities that want to be a part of this. And you know, I don't like to use the term, you know, with collective bargaining or union, but having some sort of agreement with the players of, hey, you guys are able to have this group of advantages. The school has this opportunity, and so this is how this is going to work back and forth, and it'll be a mutually beneficial agreement.
He's the great Bobby Carpenter. Morning Juice, when do we see it?
Morning Juice, 6 to 8 every day, and then replayed again from 10 to noon on 10 TV Plus.
10 TV Plus. The bottom line, folks, keep it on 10 TV, 10 TV Plus, and 97.1 The Fan. Nobody covers the Buckeyes like we do. Well, hello, Buckeye Nation. Dom Tiberi, joined by one of the greatest guys you'd ever meet, former Buckeye, Paris Campbell, receiver now with the Dallas Cowboys. And welcome back to the Buckeye Cruise. How much fun are you having?
First of all, foremost, thanks, Dom, for having me. But I'm having a blast. But also here for a great cause and helping beat cancer. So I'm having a wonderful time.
You know, cancer has touched so many of our lives, and I hate that disease. And it's really neat the way, and I've told Buckeye Nation they need to come on this cruise. Tell them what they're missing. This is a lot of fun, isn't it?
Man, you guys are missing a lifetime experience. This is one of a kind. You know, this is like a big Buckeye tailgate, something that you can't really put words to, something that you have to experience. And like I said, all while raising money for a great cause and you know, trying to beat cancer.
All right, let me ask you. It's hard to believe because it just seems like it was yesterday. 8 years in the league now. You having fun playing catch with Dak and the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, man, I'm having a blast. You know, the good Lord has been good to me. He's blessed me to be able to last this long. You know, with my family right alongside me. So it's truly been an amazing journey. You know, I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I'm just extremely blessed.
Let me ask you about Ohio State. Obviously, these are changing times with teams wanting to get older through the portal and everything. Mm-hmm. But at one point, there were 80 players this year in the NFL from Ohio State. Yeah. 50 of them like on active rosters,
right,
and then another 30 on practice squads.
Yeah.
What does that say about the way they develop players here at Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, I think the numbers speak for themselves. You know, obviously, the standard is set high at Ohio State, you know, and that standard is to win, you know, all while having great people and having great players. You know, we know the type of men that Ohio State bring in. We know the type of men that they develop into. But obviously, you know, the type of player that they develop into speaks for themselves in those numbers. So,
all right. Obviously, it did not go the way we wanted a year ago. You've been around the game a long time. You
yes.
know the current players that are here. These guys have a chip on their shoulder. I know it was hard for them to watch that national championship game. Who would have ever thought Indiana would be national champions? But Ohio State lost to them by 3 points in the Big Ten title game, and they should have beat them there. But first of all, that's a whole other animal. The Big Ten title game needs to go away. We're in the playoffs now, and you know, and it's like NFL football. It's getting like that where there's only been one undefeated Super Bowl team. Get to the playoffs and make some noise, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the good thing about this team is, you know, a lot of those guys were young guys last year. I mean, a lot of them guys are coming back, and a lot of them have a chip on their shoulder. I'm excited to see guys like Julian, Jeremiah Smith, you know, incoming freshman Chris Henry Jr. I'm excited for those guys because, first and foremost, they're led by a great man, I mean, Coach Ryan Day. and he knows what it takes. He does it. He did it before. We're only 2 years removed from that national championship, so they know what it looks like. And for Julian to go in that game, versus Miami, obviously it wasn't the outcome that he wanted. But for a young quarterback and a young player like that, I think that's something you need to experience. You need to experience that defeat. You need to experience, the toughness, the tough part of the game. And it's only going to create a better player in him, better person in him. And, I'm excited to see, how they come together this year.
Paris, a lot of people were saying, oh, my goodness, the sky is falling. The Buckeyes had 30 players go in the portal,
right,
but they brought in another 20 from the portal. It's all about, we saw it the year Ohio State won the national title. I argue they had the perfect formula, an old team with an old quarterback. Mm-hmm. We just saw Indiana, Miami with old quarterbacks. Yep. Julian's going to be a year older, mm-hmm. but, there's something to be said for men playing against boys.
Absolutely. And, like I said, you look at this Ohio State roster, and that's what it is. It's going to be men amongst the team. And like I said, like that loss last year to Miami, that creates that chip. It creates that hunger. It creates that drive, that passion. So all this offseason, that's what they're thinking about. They're thinking about that loss to Miami. They're thinking about that loss to Indiana. And how are we going to get it done this year? So it's never a panic mode for Ohio State because we always come back. We always come back. Some of these other teams, they have one-hit wonders. They do it one time, and you never hear from them again. But one thing about Ohio State, we're consistent, and we're always going to be there. We're always going to be in the race.
Last thing, you look at where this team is heading, and the defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia, NFL's experience galore, won Super Bowls with the Patriots, yep. And now they bring in Arthur Smith, former head coach, and Patricia was a former head coach in the NFL. I mean, the experience they're bringing in there, and I'm excited to see what Arthur Smith brings to this offense.
Absolutely. I'm excited as well. And it just reminds me of, my last 2 years when, Coach Day came to us, and he came from the NFL. Bringing NFL experience to college guys, you never know how it's going to go, but when you got guys at Ohio State, like the players that they are and the men that they are, and they're able to, conform to the things that these NFL coaches are bringing because they're smart, they're good players, they're good people, it tends to work. So I'm excited to see what Arthur Smith brings to the offense. He's got weapons all over the field. He should have a fun time, game planning these teams. But absolutely, like you said, I'm excited to see it.
Well, there it is, the one and only Paris Campbell, Dallas Cowboy, former Buckeye, on the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. And I'll tell you what, you look up the word class in the dictionary, this man's picture's there. All right, Buckeye Nation, we love you.
See you guys.
Hello again from the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. Dom Tiberi joined by, I'll just call him Smoothness, the one and only DeVier Posey. When you hear this man's voice on radio, it's just smooth. It's like listening to a finely tuned instrument. All right, let me ask you, you're on the Buckeye Cruise.
Yeah.
How much fun are you having?
It just amazes me every year how you get around this group of people who are passionate about a project, passionate about a cause, and it feels like family. It feels like a family reunion, Don.
It really does, and they're raising so much money. Cancer's touched so many of our lives, and it just makes me feel good to see, because they're going to find a cure, and I think they're going to find it at James.
I mean, in our cause and what we're doing and building into the James and building that place up, you got to feel like this work that we're doing here is a part of, defeating cancer. So every day that we're on the cruise, we're trying to encourage, we're bringing positive energy, we're bringing love to beat cancer.
All right, let me ask you about the current Buckeyes that are here, Julian, Sayin, and his offensive lineman.
Yeah.
These guys have a chip on their shoulder. They did not like the way the season ended last year.
Yep.
They didn't like losing by 3 to Indiana, a team they should have beat. And they lost a Miami team they should have beat.
Yeah. So when you get around the young guys, Dom, you see why they're starters. You see why they have the NIL deals they have. They're so awesome, and they're so close and tight-knit, and you can tell that they really care about protecting Julian. So I'm super excited for this group to be leaders. Luke Montgomery, Carson Hinsman, those guys are set to, have a year to where they might be first team All Big, first team All Big Ten, first team All American, and go and get drafted in the first round. So I'm happy to witness.
I know some people were screaming the sky is falling. The Buckeyes had 30 guys go in the portal. Mm-hmm. And I've said if Ohio State really wanted them, they would have been here.
Yep.
They went to the portal, brought in a lot of age. We now know the formula. Ohio State had the formula the year they won the national title. older is better. When men are playing against boys, the men have the advantage.
The last 4 national championship teams have been one of the 2 or 3 older teams in the country. So when you have veterans and you have guys who have a lot of time under their belt, you put yourself in just a better position to win. 5-star freshmen can't compete with 6-year guys who might be a 3-star. I love what Ryan Day and Mark Pantoni are doing with our recruiting in the portal. We have the right guys.
Here's the other thing. Arthur Smith, now the offensive coordinator,
Yeah.
I'm excited about him. He's going to elevate the run game. I think they're going to put stuff in and help Julian because let's face it, if you play in the NFL now, the quarterback's expected to run sometimes.
Yep.
And I think we're going to see that, but I think the run game's going to get elevated. Him teamed up with Ryan Day and his passing knowledge. I'm excited about what this offense is going to be.
The best part about Arthur Smith, he finds ways to win game even when talent as a minimum or with talent is injured. So you put him at Ohio State where talent is of the abundance, he's going to flourish. And so him and Matt Patricia supporting Ryan Day this year, you can only expect great results.
And here's the last thing I love. Matt Patricia is going to be the defensive coordinator.
He's staying. Absolutely. We get a defensive coordinator for 2 years. So super excited for his philosophies and the guys that were in his defense to have one more year under their belt. Now we can really go out and play fast.
All right, DeVier, you hear him on 97.1 The Fan. You see him on 10 TV, wall-to-wall sports. Let me ask you a question for Buckeye Nation that's out here watching us.
Yeah.
This is a bucket list coming on the cruise, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this thing, you can't take it for granted. Being around these people that, what they do, it's so many great souls here on the boat, so many people clashing and talking and just, for a good cause. This experience, Dom, we should do our shows. We should do Buckeye Roundtable from the boat every year.
Man,
we should just do it from here.
Well, I've been sending back a lot of coverage. There's a lot, and now you're heading back.
Yeah.
This is the one and only DeVier Posey. I'm Dom Tiberi. We'll talk to you later.